So I know some people probably see my videos and think, what is she talking about? Is she crazy? No, I'm just trying to get people to think be outside of the box of what this world has taught you, because a lot of it has been lies when it comes to religion and denominations and what a priest and pastor says, because a lot of it was stuff you were supposed to think about and come to your own conclusions. That may seem like, well, that's a crazy world. We all have to agree on, at least basics. Yeah, apparently we can't, because I'm taken off of my main TikTok channel, or my main, which I'll probably be taking off this main TikTok soon. I constantly am getting a warning that they're going to take this account down. I'm still waiting for them to do it. I'm sure they will soon. But every time I come on it, I get this alert saying you're at risk of losing this channel, or being permanently banned from TikTok, it says. So, yeah, I'm now on a strike on my main YouTube channel, and I just got back on there, and all because of apps basically violating their own here's the thing, people, and clearly the people that are controlling the apps, or, well, YouTube, it's just our intelligence agencies. TikTok's a little different because you do get stuff out there. I don't know who's controlling it, but it clearly is a problem for our intelligence agencies. But YouTube, and just like Twitter, is controlled by the agencies, which means even those people that went along with it that work at YouTube should go to jail. I don't care how much, you should just stand up or quit your job then. Don't go along with shit like that. Because even if somebody is wrong, they have a right to say it. That's the beauty of America. But science comes along and wants to change all that and wants to go along with the China model, which is, misinformation. No, you don't get to trample all over. I don't care what PubMed or NIH or any of they weren't here before our Constitution. So, just saying. This is Mukalinda, just a little bit more here. Yeah, I think this is a book about Mukalinda. But as you can see, it says, beneath the snake's head, sheltered from the epic storm, Buddha meditates. Yes, do you see Buddha? Not there, you don't, right? You see maybe a head under the main head of the snake, hidden by all the other heads. But the rest of the body looks like the serpent, doesn't it? Yes, it does, and there's a reason for that. Because there's many statues of Mukalinda or Buddha that part of his body is a serpent. The bottom half is a serpent, but the top half is a man. Yeah. I believe, in my opinion, with as much as the serpents at the beginning of the Bible and at the end and throughout it, that's really kind of a red flag for me. It just is. First of all, it proves the Bible. And for anybody that thinks, oh no, all these Freemasons or whoever it is that people say that wrote the Bible, nobody could write it. Nobody could. No matter how creative, nobody could. It was dictated. And here's why, because there's so many different meanings to every single line. And I don't mean different, I mean to where it applies to all of those things at different times in different history, but it's the same thing repeat. The way it's all woven, it's just impossible. There's no way. No man has that ability. Most especially the wicked, because the wicked eventually, once they cross the line into no hope wicked, they lose all creativity. You're only creative. Creativity comes from the heart. So once you go down the path of the wicked, you may be able to have somebody give you some creative idea, but you yourself won't come up with it. Most especially somebody come up with the Bible. I don't care how smart somebody is, or nobody could write. You have to read it to understand and apply it to today, and realize it happened back then, and realize that it means this, but then it also means this. And it's just unbelievable the way it. And I see that happening so much in our world. Has anybody paid attention to how much the same terms are used for different things, like organ harvesting, ballot harvesting? There's so many that I've come across. What's the recent one? They're going to inject the banking system. They're going to inject us. That one just I noticed today. But there's so many that the ballots, harvesting. Yeah, there's so many that are used for it's like that proves the Bible to me too, just because I'm seeing that in the Bible, in the verses, and then I'm also seeing how that overlap is happening in real life. I wish I could think of some other ones where they're using the same term and almost like, the same things they use for like computer, they use for us, like a virus. The computer has a virus. We have a virus. Oh, there's so many. I wish I could think of them. And even harvesting, there's a few harvesting ballots, harvesting organ, harvesting votes, harvesting, I forget. There's just so many. It's like it just reiterates the truth of the Bible to me, because the Bible's written that way. So the great serpent, I just wanted to read a couple verses because people get this so confused, Revelations, because it's a book that is written the way that it is so that only believers will understand it. And even the believers may only be right in some places because it's kind of confusing. I don't believe in the rapture. I've said I know the rapture was designed, which is why Kirk Cameron did all those movies about it. It was designed to get people complacent. I'm not going to fight with people about it. I'm just not. If you want to believe that, that's fine. It's just that I fear for you that you're going to find yourself that you're going to. Why would your generation, if you're living during that book, why would you think that you get to bypass what everybody else had to go through? The disciples had to go through a tribulation, and I don't think our tribulation would be as bad as what like John and Matthew and Luke and all them went through. The beheadings and stuff happened in their day. Not that couldn't happen now, but I think that people are very confused about where we're at, and I think we're at the end of Revelations. But people have been made to believe by their pastors and priests that this is how, well, in Catholicism, they don't even teach about Revelations, but as far as pastors and priests, they've all taught it the same way, and they've all taught it the same way because they went to seminary school where Mukalinda was teaching. Yeah, where it was coming from, just like all our academia. I mean, that's how deceptive the world's been. You've been so deceived you didn't even know you were being deceived. But Revelations 12:9, and the great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent. So why is it saying the ancient serpent? Because it's the same serpent that was on the tree at the beginning of the book when God created it all, that was in the garden on the tree of good and evil that Adam and Eve weren't to take from. And since then, he's been making his way through the terrain of the earth and prince of the air, whatever, having influence and impact and getting people to sign their souls away. A lot of people in Hollywood, and people in Hollywood have come out and said this stuff. You can call them crazy, but then you look at these fashion designers like Balenciaga that make it very clear what they do to children. And it's like, whoa. Yeah. Why do you think they get so famous? They have to keep sacrificing. That's why they lose people. I often wonder what happened to Jennifer Hudson because, her whole family was killed. That's what has to happen. You have to be willing to sacrifice some family members. You don't think that Bruce Jenner was sort of sacrificed in many ways? I don't know. I've wondered about it because the Kardashians, look at how much they've changed. How is that? You can't tell me all that's from just exercise and salads, okay? Yeah, they're plastic, but... So, and that great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. Yes, of the whole world. He was thrown down to earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Yep. So, that's Mukalinda. It's just, it goes, what stands out to me with this is how in the Old Testament, God was always trying to keep people from these other countries because of what they worshiped. That's why this is significant to me.